Simple as that. All right. Great trading day yesterday. So when I do trade prop firms, the only two I trade are Top Step and Apex. But I will be trading FFF as well when that is completely out and ready to go. Okay, so there's our market open pump right here. We're really sweeping this buy side liquidity up here. So this is when you want to be careful because we're grabbing all these equal highs. We were accumulating, so we want to be careful of power of three. But right now, I'm expecting longs to really step in. So I would be looking for longs to just continue from here. Okay, and the next thing we want to do actually, which we didn't really do, is chart out our buy side on the internal. Right, and I charted out this 15-minute order block yesterday as well. We're right in the middle of that 15-minute. We're right down in the bottom of the 15-minute order block. I want to see us push above and grab these equal highs up here on the 15. Right there. Okay, and there's not much else on the 15-minute for buy-side liquidity. If we look at the 5-minute, we might be able to see a few other swing highs here. Equal highs on the 5-minute there. We've got one swing high up here on the 5-minute. Okay, so there's some buy-side liquidity up there. And that's pretty much all we have right now. That's really all we have in terms of buy-side liquidity. The rest is really just imbalances and order blocks. Okay, so we're creating this 1-minute bullish fair value gap here. Let's see if we want to react off of this and continue to the upside. I would like to see us react off this fair value gap. We got displacement on the 1-minute. And start to pump from here. It doesn't mean I'm going to jump into a trade just yet. But I am just going to start tape reading price action, kind of see what's going on here. So let's see if we actually respect this fair value gap and we start to reject it. Or if we're going to try to push right through and get a power of 3 to the downside. Pretty strong close down there. Okay, still closed inside of that fair value gap. But a very strong down close candle on that 1-minute. See how the VIX is opening. VIX is bearish at open right now. Overall, it's still bearish. There's not really much other news we have to worry about today. So the VIX is basically the fear index is what it's called, right? So it's how fearful or how unfearful are people of the market. So when we see the VIX being bearish, and that means people are less fearful, which means the market will most likely continue up. If people are more fearful, we're going to see the VIX being bullish, which means we would probably see NQ and ES being bearish. All right, so right now this looks like we are starting to try to form a power of 3. It looks like we're trying to come down and sweep these lows. We completely displaced that 1-minute bullish fair value gap there. Okay, and this is one of the reasons where I really just wait for, the first 5 or the first 10, 15 minutes of market open before I get in trades. Okay, we did form a little bit of a bearish breaker on the 1-minute. I don't really trust that level too much just because it's not the most trustworthy level here on the 1-minute time frame. But you can just look at it and see. So this is a bearish breaker here. Are we going to trade off of it, right? You would expect us to trade back into it and continue down, especially if this is power of 3. All right, we got accumulation, manipulation up, and now we're seeing a little bit of distribution down. Let's see if these shorts are going to continue here. Again, we also really want to see us create our opening range, but it looks like these shorts are really trying to step in right now. And what would that target be? Well, that main target would be that low on our news candle right there. Okay, so we are really reacting off of that breaker. We're getting power of 3 here down to the sell side with a lot of momentum right now. A lot of momentum. So let's see if we can maybe get an OTE entry here. We might get an OTE, right, which we would use our fib. Let's say this was a swing low. We would use the fib from the swing low to swing high, and we'd wait for price to retrace to the 0.62, 0.79 of our fib. Or really, we could just wait for us to trade back into that breaker if we really expected the shorts to continue. Right now, I expect a lot of manipulation, so I'm not convinced about too much because my overall bias is still very bullish. So I don't trust this as much right now. Okay, so my mic is acting up a little bit. Yeah, my apologies. I'm gonna get it dialed in. The Wi-Fi is still a little bit spotty at times, so I'm gonna get that really dialed in today. So technically it is a unicorn, right? Because we have this fair value gap here, right there. We have the breaker, so that's technically a unicorn model because the fair value gap is overlapping the breaker block right there. So we just created our first 5-minute candle, down close displacement after wicking above, grabbing sell side liquidity, or after grabbing buy side liquidity above, displacing below. Let's see if we're going to get a reaction off of this breaker. Again, I don't really trust this market too much right now. Look at the wicks on the 10-minute here, to the upside and to the downside here. I don't trust this market too much right now. Um, 15-minute, look, same thing. Wick above, wick below. So this is why I really like to wait for the first 10 to 15 minutes of our market, for the most part, to kind of wait for that manipulation to happen, and then really start to see if our trades are going to, if the market is going to start playing out the direction we want to see it play out in. Alright, so we are getting a reaction off of that bearish breaker so far. Not enough for me to even trust it yet, though. Let's see if we want to tap into that 1-minute bearish fair value gap here. Okay. Let's see. Theoretically, if we were bearish for the day, where would you put your stop on that unicorn model? So, typically, I would like to keep my stop above that fair value gap. So let's say I wanted to get an entry. Let's say I got an entry right in that fair value gap, right when we tap into it. I'd want to keep it pretty much above the wick of this candle for the most part. Or if you don't want to have that big of a stop, you could keep it just a little bit above that fair value gap to give some room just in case we want to wick above it. Right, so you want to keep it above that fair value gap, above the breaker, and typically you do want to keep it above that next fair value gap or above that next wick of that fair value gap candle. That's where I like to keep it, but it also depends on what's the reward you're looking for, right? Okay, if you're trying to catch it down to that wick, that's 188 ticks. So you could keep, a 60, 70 tick stop and still have very good risk to reward, on that trade setup. So that's up to you and your personal trading plan, how much risk you like to put in. So the other thing we do is we use our fib, right, from our high to low, that first high to low, and we see where's our first standard deviation, second, third, fourth standard deviation, right? What are they lining up with? What levels? Okay, so 10-minute opening range candle has been created. Look at that. Super long wick up, super long wick down. Not really displacing too much. This is why I'm not trusting this market too much right now. This is why I'm really just waiting for price to tell me where it wants to go. You're not going to see me jump in an entry when we're chopping like this. I need to see more clear price action here. As I said before, right now my bias is still bullish. It's still bullish for the time being. But if we can start to prove that we're really trying to drop from here, that's when I would start to change, and that's when I would start looking for some bearish setups. Okay, so like right here, we're looking like we're really trying to break through. All right, so let's say you did take that entry. This is where you would be looking for a TP at that low. Or you'd be holding down to second standard deviation, third, fourth, so forth. So we are dropping pretty aggressively. Remember, this is our 10-minute opening range low. So typically when I see us trade below our opening range low, I would expect us to reverse back up, and if we trade above the opening range high, I'd expect us to reverse back down. That's typically what I look for in that opening range. We're moving down. We didn't even tap into that fair value gap, which is where I would want to get an entry if I was going to take that unicorn entry. But again, you could always get an entry off of the breaker if you were that, if you had that much conviction in that trade setup. So we just swept that low. It looks like these shorts do want to keep stepping in here. They're a lot more momentum now. So we chopped for a while, and now we're starting to get the momentum. So let's see if we're going to displace the low here. Fair value gap right here. 1 minute SIBI being formed. So that next target personally would be probably down to these lows here. Right, down to these lows right here. And then it would be down to this low down here. So again, if we don't come back, if we just continue to fall, I'm not going to chase the shorts. I'm not going to chase price. I'll still wait for the right setup. We did trade below that opening range, so I want to be a little bit more careful here. I want to see if we're going to trade in that SIBI, if we're going to reject it. And if we don't, if we start to inverse that SIBI, that's when I'm looking for longs. Right now, we're still looking pretty bearish here, guys. Still looking pretty bearish. We're not coming back for a level that I really want to short off of. You know me, I'm not gonna go and chase the shorts because I want to get involved in this trade because I know there's plenty of opportunity today. I'd rather stay patient and wait for my actual levels to get tapped into. Matthew, you caught the short. Nice. Anybody else catch those shorts off the breaker? We just hit second standard deviation there, so that's another good TP level. Right? That standard deviation level. This low is a good TP level. And ultimately down to that low. If we're going to drop that far, which right now it looks like we're trying to. It looks like we're going to keep dropping. Yeah, so typically when I see the 10-minute and 15-minute opening range candle form, and this isn't going to happen every day, but typically what I look for is for us to trade below that range, that candle, and then reverse back to the high of the candle, or trade above that opening range candle, and then trade down below to the bottom of the opening range candle. But right now, we see a lot of bearish momentum. It does not look like we are going to try and reverse right now. Look at that 15-minute. 15-minute is a strong down close candle. Very strong down close candle here. But that's typically what I look for with opening range. So we just took out that next sell side level. So we've taken out both of the sell side levels here. And we created our 15-minute opening range. So pretty bearish. Pretty bearish at open. We just have to see if we're going to trade back into a level that I can actually find a good entry off of. If we don't do that, I'll continue to sit on the sideline. We have a 5-minute bearish order block right here as well. But we've done this before on days like this where we have had a very aggressive drop at market open and we still were very bullish on the day. Right, just a big trap, big fake out. No, we have not displaced that wick, right? We have not displaced that wick. That would be the ultimate telltale sign. If we displace that wick on the 15 on a higher time frame, that's when I would really expect the shorts to step in for the whole day. So basically, what I'm looking for now is this 1 minute SIBI up here. Let's look at the 2 minute. Okay, we just traded into that 2 minute SIBI. I want to see if we're going to respect these levels or if we're going to start to inverse them. So 2 minute SIBI right here. We started to reject it a little bit. So I'll just keep being patient, guys. I'm in no rush right now. So now I'm looking to see, are we going to start to inverse? If we inverse this 1 minute SIBI, I would expect these longs to start stepping in. And I would expect this to be a big fake out move. But if we just come up and kind of tap into that and reject it, even this 2 minute right here, I would be expecting the shorts to come right back down to that low. Now the VIX is not even very bearish or bullish at all. It really had one up close candle on that 30 minute. And it was barely even an up close candle. Right now we're seeing the VIX starting to drop. I want to see if we're going to start to inverse this 1 minute fair value gap here. Okay, so we rejected it. First touch into that SIBI, we rejected it hard. Let's look at the 5 minute. Okay, we tapped into that 5 minute bearish order block there as well. Looks like these shorts might want to keep stepping in off that SIBI there. Alright, so what's that next target on the sell side? Be that low, swing low down there. Guys, with the volatility, I'm not looking to be crazy aggressive. I want to catch a very solid A+ setup and maybe even go heavier in it and just catch one very nice trade setup. I'm not looking to take a bunch of different trades. I'm really looking for that A+ setup that's going to offer a lot of reward. Okay, so we rejected that pretty hard. Looks like these shorts really do want to step back in. Strong rejection at that SIBI. Coming right back down for sell side. Remember, this is also our opening range candle low on the 15 minute right there. But it looks like these shorts do want to just keep stepping in here. Yes, starting to reject as well. Let's see if we want to create another fair value gap, another entry level. That's one thing that's very interesting to me, is that the VIX is still so bearish right now. That's what's very interesting to me. That's one reason you don't see me trusting these shorts as much as I normally would. Again, even if I wanted to short from here, I don't like that short. I'm not going to, right now, I'm not going to keep a 100 tick stop above that SIBI. Right, even if I got an entry right here. And to me, that's not really a good entry level anyways. I know it's some of an order block there. Still not really an entry I would take. Especially if I'm looking to just target that level. I'm not looking for a 110 tick stop to catch 137 ticks. That's not really what I'm trying to do. But if you got a good entry on these shorts, if you got a solid entry on these shorts, like maybe you got in off the breaker, maybe you got in off that 1 minute Sibi, could really keep trying to hold these down to this swing low here and ultimately down to that low down here. Yeah, we're getting closer and closer to that low. That news low or data low is right at exactly at 19,000. Alright, so we just took out that next level. So right now the shorts are really proving that they want to keep stepping in. Remember what this level is here. 4 hour busy, we charted out in pre-market analysis right here. Okay, last time we tapped into it, we rejected it pretty aggressively. So now we traded below that 15-minute opening range candle. Doesn't really look like the shorts want to stop though. At least not right now. We do have SMT divergence. Okay, so ES is failing to sweep that low right now. NQ is sweeping the low. Let's see if ES does come down and take it. Or if we're going to start to reverse here. Tapped right back into that 4 hour busy. I'm really just going to stay patient, guys. I'm still not in a rush. I want to find an A+ setup. This SMT, pretty big SMT. VIX is still dropping. We've taken out opening range low on the 15-minute. Trade into a 4 hour busy. This could be where we start to reverse. This could really be where we start to reverse here. Doesn't mean I'm just going to jump into a trade when we're still very bearish. But this, right now, I'm getting some confluences. Right, when I see all these things happening, when I see ES pumping, we're getting SMT divergence. We trade into a 4 hour busy. We trade below our opening range 15-minute candle. Let's see if it actually follows through. Right now, the NQ is not following through. It's still being held down right now. It's still being held down. So I don't trust it yet. Guys, I might attempt a long here. I'm going to attempt a long with half a lot right now. I just want to see if this reversal is coming through. Okay, I do have a few different confluences. I'm just going to keep my stop below that wick down here. Again, this is a very aggressive entry because I'm not waiting for a break of structure or anything, and we still are very bearish. So just understand, I might have to just cut this pretty early here. I might have to cut this. I don't even have time to put a stop loss in yet. I'm just going to cut it. Right, so aggressive entry, just testing it out right at market open, or not market open, but testing out if that's going to be the reversal. Again, I didn't wait for any break of structure, so it's aggressive. That's why I try to tell you guys if it's going to be riskier or more aggressive. But after seeing the VIX being very bearish, after seeing we got SMT, all these confluences here, I wanted to test it out and see if we're going to start to break out. And now we see, okay, we're still bearish. The reversal is not coming in, so I tested it out, and now I move on to the next trade. We still have SMT right now, but it looks like these shorts do want to keep stepping in. So that's my attempt at an aggressive trade this morning. Just half a lot. Cutting my trade before it hits my full stop. 1 minute minus OB formed right here. Still have that SMT divergence. We got about 5 minutes until the hourly closes, till we go into silver bullet. We might need to wait for that silver bullet hour. Okay, so no more SMT now. ES came down and swept that low. Let's say we wanted to short. I don't love shorting from down here, but let's say we wanted to short from that 1 minute bearish order block. All right, where are we looking to catch it down to? That wick down here. Still have over 170 ticks of reward from there, so that's still a trade I would be willing to take. I don't like taking a short from all the way down here while we're in a discount of the range, but it looks like we really are trying to go take out that low now. All right, let's see what happens when we tap up into this fair value gap order block here. Starting to reject. Really wanted to see us tap into that order block first. We did not tap into the order block. We did tap into that fair value gap, but I didn't get my entry. I didn't set a limit order or anything. I wanted to see if we would tap into that order block. But reaction off that fair value gap there. These 1 minute fair value gaps right now are actually very good levels. Very good levels right now on those 1 minute. 1 minute fair value gaps. Alright, so we're getting close to that data low. CPI low down there. The VIX is still very bearish. Very bearish right now. Which is really interesting. We're seeing such a strong drop right now in the market. So it does look like these shorts want to come down and take out this low. Alright, let's look here. This 1 minute fair value gap we tapped into, we really did get a strong rejection off that level. I wouldn't take an entry down here. The only entry I would look for again would be if we tap back into that fair value gap. Take it down to the short, or down to that low down there. It's still over 140 ticks of profit. So let's see if we come down and take it out. And so far I've just attempted one trade, that's it. Small loss for me. Trying to get aggressive. Yeah, we're just kind of chopping here. I would not get an entry down here at all. I would not get an entry down here. The 15 minutes really come down. So I'll stay patient. See if we can trade into a level that we could actually get an entry off of. I don't like all the stalling down here that we're failing to sweep that low, but I still think we're going to go down and sweep that low. Which will probably not tap back into that fair value gap right now. I don't think we're going to come back just yet. We are very choppy. ES is almost at that low right now. ES has almost swept that low. More SMT between ES and NQ here. ES came down, swept that low. NQ failed to. Let's see, this could be an entry level, but right now I don't like that we got SMT. Don't trust it as much, but I still think we're going to try and come and head down for that low. I just don't trust this short. I don't trust this momentum now after getting SMT divergence. Let's see what we do when we tap into this 1 minute order block. If we reject that order block pretty hard, I might still look for a short. ES came down right here and swept this low here. Look at that. Or it's really just this recent low, excuse me, this recent low right here and this low right here. It's these past two lows right here. It's nothing too major, but it is interesting to point out, right, when we see ES come down, sweep the previous low, and Q doesn't sweep that previous low. But we are rejecting that still. Volatility is going a little bit crazy right now. I'm really battling. I don't even love getting a short entry from here. Even if these shorts do come in, I don't love the entry right now. I mean, I do like the rejection we got off of this order block in that fair value gap, but I'm still not trusting the shorts as much down at this level. We did tap into a 5-minute bearish fair value gap. I do like that. I do like that a lot, actually. Let's see. I'm not liking the 1 minute right now. Need to see another rejection. Need to see another rejection here. Looks like these shorts do want to step back in. Just very volatile. Really struggling at this level, but I do think these shorts are going to come back in any minute now. So we did reject off the 5-minute fair value gap. We do have a 5-minute bearish order block up here we didn't tap into. Two-minute order block as well. I'm just not really liking this price action here. Okay, if we reject again, I might look for a short entry. I just don't want to get it too low. I don't really like that we're chopping so much, so I don't really want to get an entry while we're chopping like this. So I just kind of want to stay patient here. This is why I just want to stay patient. Okay, we did just tap into that 5-minute order block. We're rejecting it. We're about to close on the 5, so let's see if we're going to try to inverse this 5-minute or close inside of that 5-minute fair value gap. We are into silver bullet hour now. This is where you could expect some silver bullet longs to step in. Okay, so we didn't inverse the fair value gap, but we did close near the top of it. Let's look at the hourly time frame. Traded back in near the hourly bullish fair value gap. Very strong down close candle. No displacement, but still very strong down close candle there. Good morning, Honest Money. How you doing? What's up, Shosky? Yeah, guys, I'm still just really waiting. I don't like this very volatile kind of choppiness right here, especially when we're already at in the bottom of the range in a discount, and now we're into silver bullet. But if I do see a nice rejection here, I will look for the shorts. Like, that's a pretty nice rejection. I'm gonna attempt the shorts here, guys. I'm just gonna go half a lot here. I'm gonna go half a lot. I'm gonna put my stop. Oh, there we go. I might just move my stop down pretty quick. Honestly, I might just make this a risk-free trade here. No, I'm gonna keep my stop just a little bit up here. I just need to see if this one's gonna fall through. I'm gonna keep it up a little bit, like at 1940, 1948, 50 right now. So I'm still in half a lot. So first TP could be down at this low, 100 ticks. That's over a 1, or that's over a 1 to 2. Could take a TP down here at 145 ticks at our news low. There we go. Okay, so again, I almost want to move my stop to break even or take a profit, but we're moving up. We're way too quick right now to really do too much. And if I don't want to move my stop to break even too soon, so I'm just going to kind of monitor it and watch it closely. And if we do come up very aggressively, I will just sell. What I do want to do is take a TP down at that news low. So I will set a limit order down there. So I have a limit order set at 19,025. Again, I'm still in half a lot right now. I didn't even have time to really add into a full on this one. We're not really getting that momentum to step in here. We do have a fair value gap here that I could add into a full position if we trade up into that fair value gap on the 1 minute. But we're not seeing the follow through like I wanted to see so far. Okay, there we go. 1 minute fair value gap. Again, if we trade up really aggressively, I might just have to cut this one. But if we start to reject this, I will add into a full position. All right, I just added into a full. We're starting to reject it a little bit. Okay, but if we push through this 1 minute, I'm just going to get out. Let's see. So, good add so far. Move my stop down a little bit here. Down to that level, looking for a first TP. At that news, at that data low, 129 ticks about 129, 130 ticks there. Let's see if we can go take out that low. Again, I'm still watching this very closely because we have been stalling down at these lows a lot. We did get some more SMT. So again, if we start to move up very aggressively towards my break even, I probably will just cut this trade early. But so far, that was a good add off that fair value gap. We rejected the fair value gap pretty hard, but we're really struggling to break those lows right now, especially getting more SMT divergence. So I don't want this one to come up too aggressively. We're still in profit right now. I'm just not liking how much we're stalling and how much we're really chopping here. So still holding on to this. Let's see if we can make a break for those lows. Remember how I said I don't really like shorting while we're in a premium of this bigger range. But we're respecting our sell side, or our bearish fair value gaps. There we go. Okay, we're almost got to that low. I'm just going to move my stop to break even here, guys. I'm going to make this a risk-free trade real quick. Stop is at break even. There's first TP. First TP has smacked. I'm going to hold on to some runners here. That's what I'm talking about right there. And you could sell everything down there if you want to. We did just take out a key low, and we could see rejection from this point. We got some big SMT divergence. So I understand if you want to sell everything, we can. I might even think about selling everything if we start to get too strong of a rejection here. Very big SMT with ES not taking out that low. So I might sell off, honestly, one more con here. I'm just going to sell off one. I'm going to leave one runner at break even. Oh, look at that. Now we drop. All right, so I'm holding on to one runner here. This trade has hit 188 ticks so far. Boom. Look at that. Look at that, guys. I'm going to probably let this one go for a little bit. No more SMT divergence. That's what I'm talking about here, guys. That's why we stay patient. That's 227 ticks on that trade. What I'll probably do is start trailing my stop into profit here above that recent high. My stop is just going to trail at 19.0475. That's what I'm talking about. So 234 ticks have hit. Now we just want to look at where are our next sell side levels. Because really, you could also keep your stop at break even and see if this one's just going to keep dropping for the rest of the day. But you want to be careful of any pullback and just secure profit when it's there. Okay, so I'm just holding my stop at 19.0475 right now. If we come back up and stop me out, oh well. Still a great trade. I'm only leaving one runner. Only 25% of my position here. So really our next actual like internal sell side level is really not until all the way down here. We might have some 1 minute swing lows down here. So I'm looking at the 1 minute. There's not much going on, guys. This one, I mean, we have a bunch of 1 minute swing lows, but I don't really care about those as much. This one just keeps dropping, so we have all the momentum. I might as well just leave this runner. I've already taken out 75% of my position. Yeah, so that 5 minute fair value gap was one of my main confluences there. Right here, that 5 minute that we bounced off of. 5 minute bearish order block. 1 minute bearish order block as well. But seeing that 5 minute rejection is really what made me want to get in the most. Okay, so I'll keep my stop above, so just in case we want to trade into that fair value gap. It still is silver bullet right now. But guys, we have a long ways until we have an actual like 5 minute swing low or 15 minute swing low. It's really all the way down to there. So I'm down to just kind of let this one keep running. You know, or maybe even just get out and then wait for a retracement and get a re-entry or a new entry. But again, I'm good into the profit right now. I'm very happy with this move, with this trade. Almost 250 ticks on this play. Actually over 265 ticks from our original entry there. So I'm good with just letting this run. I've already taken most of my profit. So at this point, either way, even if I get stopped, even if I get stopped out, I'll still be getting stopped in profit. So I won't be losing too much profit. That's why I like to at least let one runner run. I have my stop loss at a decent level. You know, I could keep it at break even, but I want to at least take some profit on it. Hey, that's all right, Kia Trades. Now you're almost back to break even there. That's what matters. And now the next time you can work on holding that trade for a little bit longer. See, I told you guys, I haven't been getting wins on these free Wednesdays. For some reason, I don't know what's been going on. I haven't been getting the wins like I want to. I told you yesterday I'd get you guys today. Told you I would hook you up today with a good trade setup. But really, this is what patience has done for us, right? We stayed patient throughout the whole morning. We tried one aggressive trade, and then the rest of the time, we just waited for a setup, waited, and then finally executed our trade. This is even honestly a point where I would actually even add into another contract, and that would move my break even pretty far down. I don't know if I really want to do that. I've thought about it, maybe adding into one, but right now we've taken out a very key low. We could see some strong pullback. We're seeing ES really pulling back right now. So I don't know if I want to do that. John is the good luck charm. Hey guys, don't forget we have Q&A today at 9:30 a.m. Pacific time. Me and John will be hopping on for Q&A. If you don't know who John is, he is our full-time risk management, mental wellness, or just wellness overall psychology coach. So we're going to hop on for Q&A at 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time and answer any of the questions you guys have for us. Eternal Patience, that could be our new name. So again, we could come back and stop me out right now. We're seeing a lot of pullback. ES is really pumping from here. If we inverse this fair value gap, we'll definitely go stop us out up there and go to that next fair value gap. That's a good rejection right there. It's a good rejection off that fair value gap. Let's see if we get some follow through. So right now, John is going to be doing risk management on Tuesdays, Q&As with me on Wednesdays, and psychology on Thursdays. And then we have possibly some plans for Fridays in the future of some kind of interactive session to do with you guys on Fridays. How would you guys feel? This is just an idea me and my team have been throwing around. If we did some kind of interactive sessions on Fridays with a little bit of a reward, you know, maybe a free account or something like that along those lines. Something we're thinking about doing on Fridays. Make it a little more interactive. A little competition for you guys. If that's something you guys are interested in, let me know. We're really working at creating some good ideas for you guys. We just want to provide as much value to this community as we can. That's really our main goal. We want to provide as much value to you guys. We want to make your experience as best as we can. We want you to learn. Okay, this one looks like it keeps trying to come back up and take out my stop. It might come take me out here. Alright, I'm just going to sell. I'm not even going to let that one go take my stop. I just got out, guys. So I took my profit there. Took my profit. That's fine. Great trade, guys. Great trade. Again, I just left one runner here, so still not too bad. Overall, from entry to the bottom, 265 ticks on that short position. 265 ticks. That is pretty nice if you ask me. I will take that any day. Any day with the full position too. And guys, I have not really been going into a full position the past few weeks at all. I've been going very light. So this week I've gone back to a full position. Past 2 days we've been able to really tack on some profit. So about 2,000 on both days for me. Yesterday and today, about 2,000 in profit. And again, that's not my full profit target on the day, but I will take that when I get it. Like if I make 2,000 a day, I'm very happy with that. It doesn't need to be, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 every single day. We did fight hard for those ticks. We really had to be patient. Really had to be patient, but that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about right there. So, yeah, 2 days in a row. Great wins. We've only taken 2 trades today. You should start doing long-term stock investments. I could definitely, we could definitely start talking about that. We're also going to be talking about getting into crypto for the community as well. We might bring in some crypto trading to the Discord. That won't be for a little while, but that's another idea we have. Again, just goes back to the trying to, provide as much value. And if that's, if you guys are interested in these different things, we'll try to bring that to you guys. So, can you explain your sell? Because earlier you were talking about the silver bullet longs, VIX being bearish means NQ possible long. Yes, and a rejected 1 minute fair value gap. I think you can enter still working on diamond hands, but I still want to know what made you flip your bias. So again, my bias overall this morning when I came into the market, I was expecting longs because we had, you know, pretty okay news come out. We had okay data. Yesterday we had a very bullish day. We've been seeing a lot of bullish days. And everything on structure still told me bullish. But then we saw us really start to get bearish momentum, break structure, and start respecting bearish order flow. So once I saw that, that's when I started to think, okay, well, I think the shorts are going to start stepping in now. I think they're going to continue down to that data low. That's that key liquidity level. And then once here, I said, if we can inverse, right, if we can start to pump above this 1 minute order block, that's when I would look for those silver bullet longs again. But then I looked and saw this 5 minute fair value gap. We tap into a 5 minute bearish order block and we rejected it very hard. Once I saw that aggressive rejection, that's why you see my entry was all the way down here. It wasn't all the way up here because I was waiting for that rejection. Once I saw that rejection, that's when I started to get aggressive. And that's when I really had that conviction that the shorts were going to step in. I started to see the VIX pulling back a little bit. Now the VIX is still bearish overall. So that's why one thing I was a little bit hesitant about shorting this market was because of the VIX. But I wasn't going to let the VIX completely stop me from being able to catch this nice short move because I did expect us to go to sell side. So on that, I really just trusted market structure over anything. I trusted market structure. I trusted bearish order flow. So if that makes sense, if not, let me know if you have any more questions about that. Which color folders in news are most effective? Red folder news. Red folder is going to be your highest impact news event. That's when you see like CPI, PPI, FOMC, those, you know, like NFP, those kind of news events are the ones that are going to have the most impact. The orange is medium impact and the yellow is low impact. So we don't really care about the yellow as much. Really, I'm only worried mainly about the red. That's the only time I pay too much attention to it. Sometimes orange folder events can bring some volatility, but it's not too much. Yeah, and what John said, guys, some great, you know, great midterm investing, some more maybe long-term as well. But yeah, we've got some exciting stuff to bring you guys. We're working on a lot right now. We finally have our whole team together, and we are really working on a lot for you guys. So we're excited about that. Salad hands need to change to diamond hands. It's hard, man. It's a hard discipline to create and to build, to be able to hold those trades and to really get those entries. And really, you just can't be scared to take a loss. That's the biggest thing. And you shouldn't be scared to take a loss if you have your risk management on point. Right? You never see me scared to take a loss because I understand even if I take the loss, I'm not over leveraging. I'm not gonna go past my daily loss limit. I'm not gonna make those mistakes because I've built that discipline already. So if you come to the market scared to lose, you need to really rethink and start to say, am I over leveraging? Do I have conviction in my trades? Because if you have that stuff, you really shouldn't be scared to take losses. And that way, when you see that setup happen, you are ready to execute that trade and you're going to get in. Oh, these longs are starting to step in now. These longs are really pumping here. We displaced on the 15-minute. 5-minute fair value gap there. Let's see if this is just a strong pullback move for the shorts to come back. Again, I don't really care about taking another trade right now. I'm ready to have a lot of profit today. I'm very happy with my profit after catching, 265 ticks. And that's another way you can deal with that is just move your stop to break even. That way you can hold on to your trades and not have to really stress as much about them. So if you're really struggling with holding on to your trades, just move your stop to break even and make it a risk-free trade. That way you're not going to stress about it because either way, you're not going to lose any money on that trade. Oh yeah, guys, check out John's social, Instagram, TikTok, all that good stuff. Go give John a follow. Also, if you guys want to give my new Instagram a follow, I send it to announcements. I have to start from scratch pretty much. Instagram still has not given me my account back, which is a bummer. I don't know if they're going to give me my account back. So if you guys want to give my Instagram a follow as well, it's under announcements. It's up to you. You don't have to give me a follow. But all right, guys. I'm hoping we get the original back. Been building that account for a while now. All right, so that's it for me right now, honestly. I think that's a great way to start off our Wednesday. I don't want to overdo it. I think I'm happy with taking 2 trades and catching a big trade like that. I'm good in profit. You know, for me, $2,000, I'm happy with that. And really, it's not about the profit, guys. I know I'm talking about the profit, but it's really just about, are you taking the right trades? Are you trading with discipline? And then the profit will follow. The profit will follow. Wow, look at those shorts coming back in. Shorts are really stepping back in here. So yeah, I mean, overall bias today now is still very bearish, or it's now bearish compared to what it was at market open. All right, guys. Well, that's it for me right now. We will be back for Q&A in just a few hours, and we'll have. Hopefully, you guys can come with your questions. Write them down if you have questions, comments. Let us know. We're going to try to answer all of your guys' questions for you. We're excited for these Q&A sessions on Wednesdays. Hopefully, you guys are too. So we will be seeing you shortly. Again, we're always around. Let us know if you have questions. Hit us up. But we'll be back soon. All right, guys. God bless everybody. Take it easy. Stay safe until we see you next. Peace out. Got you guys.